Hello, students. My name again is Ibrahim Hassan. Today, we are going to our week 2 of our class, Management Information System. In this week, I'm going to teach you the basic of software processing systems. Follow me to the class. Thank you. It's going to be an interesting one. Hello, students. Like I said earlier, this is going to be our second week of this class of Management Information System. That is BUS 401. As you can see on the slides, there are structures of management information systems, which comprises of the hardware, software, database, medium and message, procedure, input and output, also operational personnel. So, like I said earlier, we are going to talk about basic software for data processing. So, software systems. Software consists of a group of related programs written in a specific code called programming language. Software is created by a professional software programmer, and it also comes on disk, which is a CD-ROM or downloadable online across the internet. Software can generally be divided into two categories. System software. Some examples of system software are operating systems and language translators. This is A, operating system, B, language translator, and C, utilities. As you can see by the side of the slide, there is a diagram which shows the data processing. From that, it's a flowchart of data processing. Application software. Example of application software include word processing and also desktop publishing software, spreadsheet, database programs, graphics programs, communication software, and special purpose programs suitable for accounting, scientific and engineering application, education, entertainment, and so on. Software for data processing. Computers in a data processing environment will run one or more of the following software to facilitate data processing activities, which comprises of A, word processing software, B, spreadsheet software, C, database software, and D, presentation graphics. We also have data capturing and reporting devices, which includes input. Under data capturing and reporting devices, we have the input devices. For data to be processed, they are first to be captured via input devices and also translated to computer understandable form. Input devices are used to capture and translate data into a form of computer into a form the computer can process. Input devices exist in the following categories: keyboard, pointing devices, pen-based devices, source data entry. Output, and there is also output devices. Outputs are the outcome of processed data. An output device is any piece of the computer hardware equipment used to communicate the results of data processing carried out by a computer to the outside world. Some common output devices include visual display unit, a visual display unit also called VDU, monitor or screen, printers and plotters. Data storage devices. We have a diskette. A diskette or floppy disk is a data storage medium that is composed of a disk thin flexible magnetic storage, the storage medium encased in a square or rectangular piece of mylar plastic. Floppy disks are read and written by a floppy disk drive or FDD, initial of which should not be confused with fixed drive, which is another term for a hard disk drive. Floppy disks exist in the following. Then, then hard disks. In a data processing environment, a, a hard disk drive, which is in bracket HDD, commonly referred to as a hard drive, hard disk, or fixed disk drive, serve as permanent storage device for large amount of data. Originally, the term hard was temporarily slang, substituting hard or rigid for rigid. All these drivers had an established and universally agreed upon name. Then we have removable hard disks. This is a variation of the hard disks, in which hard disks enclosed in plastic or metal cartridges are easily removable like floppy disks. It also combines the best features of hard and floppy disks. They are used to provide large economical, high, fast, and portable storage facility for data processing. And magnetic tape. Magnetic tape has historically been found more convenient means of large data storage over disks where media portability or removability is required for backup. Magnetic tape uses the same read/write techniques as disks. Data is stored on flexible mylar tape covered with magnetic oxide. And optical storage. The optical storage devices such as CDs and DVDs are means in which data is written and read with a laser for archival or backup purposes. The optical storage devices are first replacing both hard drives in computers and tape backup in mass storage. This is because optical media are more durable than tape and less vulnerable to environmental conditions, lasting up to 7 times as long as traditional storage media. Then accessing data from disks. Bits of data, which is OS and 1, are stored on circular magnetic plates called disks. A disk, a disk rotates rapidly and it never stops. A disk head reads and writes bits of data as they pass under the head. Often several platters are organized into a disk pack or disk drive. Disks contain concentric tracks. Tracks are divided into two sectors. A sector is the smallest addressable unit in a disk. Disk performance. In measuring the disk performance of a storage device, we may consider the following three parameters. A. Rotational delay slash latency. This is the this is the time it takes to position the proper sector under the read and write head. In general, it is used to refer to the period of time that one component in a system is spinning its wheels, waiting for another component. B. Thorough, through, through, Throughput. This is the rate at which information can be read from from or written to the storage. It is expressed in terms of megabytes per second. C. Seek time. This is the amount of time between the CPU or when the CPU requests a file and when the first byte of the file is sent to the CPU. Seek times between 10 and 20 milliseconds are common. Then computer file. A file is a collection of data or information that has that has a name called a file name. Most of the information stored in a computer system is stored as files. A file is often stored with a user's given name and a system supplied. And type of file and software extension. Number one, we have Microsoft Word document, audio file. 3, basic compiler. 4, text. 5, Microsoft Excel. 6, image. And we have file organization. File are created arranged and also maintained in data processing systems for a purpose of easy retrieval. Computer systems stores files permanently on secondary storage devices. Four common ways of file organization and access are serial file organization, sequential file organization, indexed sequential organization, direct or random file organization. Then classification of storage devices. Storage devices can be classified generally as sequential access or random access. For example, a type drive is a sequential access device because to get to record 5 on the tape, the drive needs to pass through points 1, 2, 3, and 4 types of data files. Data stored in a data processing center could be considered as transaction file and master file. A transaction file. This refers to a collection of transaction records. A transaction file is a temporary holding file that stores records that normally have a limited useful lifetime. For an employee file for a payroll processing, a transaction file will hold the name, contact information, hour worked, pay rate, tax utility, tax utility, bills, etc. for a staff for a particular month. The master file. Master file is a collaboration of records that are relatively permanent records that are updated periodically. Though once a record has been added to a master file, it remains in the system indefinitely. The value of fields for the records will change over its lifetime, but the individual but the individual but the individual records are retained indefinitely. Master files contain descriptive data such as name and address, as well as summary information such as in the student's cumulative grade point, which is the CGPA in an examination processing system, or total net pay, total tax deductions in a payroll system. We have come to the end of. Thank you very much.